changing the results of this election. Not at all. You know, again, most of the claims have been debunked. It seems like a lot of people are concerned about it, though. But I just can't, with integrity, say that there's any credibility to that particular concern at this moment. And keep in mind, the votes will be recounted on the states where the margin is thin, small enough. There's a lot of protections in place, you know, protecting the integrity of elections, from having people watch the polls, you know, to not letting people in, you know, to, you know, keeping people accountable. There's live streams of the elections, and the, you know, the ballots being counted. Like, you could actually go into a live stream and watch people live on video count the ballots. I mean, there's so many security measures in place, because it's such an important part of America's democracy. And I say, you just have to trust the system. And if there is some fraud, you know, Trump has the ability to go to the courts and they'll investigate as they do normally. And if there is any fraud, then the, you know, proper procedures will be undertaken. But again, I can't emphasize enough the fact that currently there's no credible evidence for fraud. So let's cross the street to this side. Biden supporters on that side of the street, some Trump supporters here, and some Trump supporters across in front of the Capitol building. But again, you know, nobody allowed in the streets. APD is taking measures to keep people out of the streets, letting vehicular traffic continue as normal. I think that wasn't necessary, especially dangerous to open the streets at a moment like this. But what's up? But you know. Not taking a side here, guys, just saying that there's no evidence for it at this moment. It shouldn't be a political issue, man. But y'all politicize everything. How's it going, sir? How you doing?
All right.
Do you mind if I ask you some questions on camera?
No.
You don't mind?
No.
Awesome, awesome. So I'm gonna do it selfie style, just because the audio's a little better. Do you mind if I stand here, man?
Sure.
So I see you have a gas mask, first of all. So I want to know what brought you out here today and why the gas mask?
I'm out here because an election is getting stolen from us right in front of our very eyes.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. I would rather not be here, but and I'm not going to leave. I'm not going to lay down and give up and let our country just go the way of Venezuela.
So I heard a lot about this, man. So my question for you is, like, where do you get your evidence? Where can people find it? Why haven't the mainstream media reported on any fraud yet?
Well, you can answer your own question about the mainstream media. Why haven't they reported it? I mean, that's kind of a silly question. But, okay, I was watching it all night. Okay, they shut down the counting, and then they have mail drops coming in 100% for Trump, not for Biden. And then look at the down ballot races. You know, none of it makes any sense. I mean, look around you. I mean, why can't we why can't we look at the votes? Why are they keeping the poll watchers out of the votes? Why are they putting cardboard up on the windows? They even defied a judge's order in Pennsylvania to just let the poll watchers in and watch them count.
So
even in a banana republic, you're allowed to watch the counting, watch the vote.
So as far as I know, man, like, everything's been pretty standard procedure so far.
No, it hasn't. We've never had a mail-in election. We've never had a COVID-19.
I mean, like,
I want to hear what you have to say, but I have to interject when you say this is standard procedure. This is not.
I'm just saying, based on what I've read so far,
standard procedure
and what I've seen,
that you don't send out votes to people who don't exist. The voter rolls in Nevada, they're public. You can go on the domain. Veritas, Candace Owens, you know, the media should be doing this. You can do it. Put in the name of a dead person or somebody that moved out of Nevada 2 years ago and they're voting in Pennsylvania or wherever, and they voted.
Yeah.
People are showing up to the polls to vote on election day and find out they've already voted. This is very, very widespread.
So, what would you like to see change this election? Like,
you can't redo an election. You agree with me, right?
I mean, yeah, I think it'd be difficult to redo an election.
It would be impossible because this is the election that Trump won. What I would like to see is for an investigation.
And if investigation's done, who would you like to do this investigation? What would give you the confidence that the election results we get at the end of the day are the real ones?
That it could be observed by all parties. Live? Yeah. How about live on TV for the world to watch?
It is live. Like on Facebook, you could go to some of the...
And you can see
the polling stations. You can actually count the ballots live.
No, even the poll watchers have to stand 6 feet away.
There's literally some... Because I looked into it, there's literally cameras pointing at people counting the ballots.
Can you see can you read the ballots?
I mean, no, but you can tell what's...
How about quarantine the mail-in late ballots? How about the postmarks?
Do you feel like
the postmarks that are being changed?
Do you feel like fraud is a problem this election, or did Trump maybe also win on fraud the last time, or is it unique to this particular election?
It's worse in this election because of COVID-19.
Yeah.
You can now get an unsolicited ballot in the mail, and you can drop it off in a box. You know, I mean, we really need to have voter ID.
And lastly, man, where can I get this information? Where do you get your info?
Well, there's Infowars.com, but
Infowars.
You know that has
CNN, I get all my information from CNN. I'm a fucking CNN man, bro.
That's a joke, right?
Yeah, bro. I'm serious. I'm serious.
CNN for real, Clinton News Network.
Well, thank you for your words, man. I appreciate it.
You know, and the gas mask is here because I've been watching Antifa and Black Lives Matter burning shit down, and I'm ready to get out of here if things get ugly. But I can already tell they're not, because we have a lot more Trump supporters here. So it's going to be a peaceful protest.
So it's been peaceful so far. It'll stay peaceful.
I saw a couple of fights try to break out.
Yeah.
And they went their separate ways.
Awesome.
So it's been peaceful.
It's a civil war. It's civil.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, thank you so much, dude. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you, sir. Have a good one. So, guys, again, I just want to make sure that, we understand where a lot of this information is coming from. So far, it's all, things like InfoWars, projects. I forgot the name, unfortunately. But no mainstream media sources about the fraud, not Fox News, not, the Huffington Post, not some of these, CNN, ABC, MSNBC, many of them arguably, biased, but no matter what the bias has been, no mainstream media has posted anything except InfoWars and other news organizations alike, which doesn't, in and of itself provide, I think, enough convincing evidence that some of these claims so far have any merit. Again, I spent literally 8 hours yesterday listening to, interview after interview after interview. And even, a Republican like John Kasich, he himself feels confident about the process. A lot of Republican, governors and people that work for the elections also feel confident in the process taking place and don't feel like there's any fraud. So most of these people are convinced there's fraud, but again, not a lot of evidence for it, guys. I'm so sorry if you feel it's political, but it's just factually, if I want to be and I want to keep my integrity, I can't I can't attest to it, and if anything, have seen evidence on the contrary. So I'm waiting to cross the street, see if I get some more interviews on the other side. Please, in the interest of democracy, do your research. It's Project Veritas. So they're chanting cheaters. On this side, we have Biden-Harris supporters. So this is where the people who are counter-protesting this event are located. I'm so sorry. So let's ask some questions. See what's up. How's it going, sir? How are you today?
Doing great.
Do you mind if I ask you some questions on camera? I'm an independent journalist. It all goes on ImHiram. My name is Hiram. You know, I just live stream. I don't edit anything. It just goes straight on how it,
I'm just going to tell you, I'm a medical professional for Biden, okay?
A medical professional for Biden.
Yes, I'm going to leave it at that. And I believe in science.
Great. Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hi. Yeah, briefly. Well, no, but
this is the one you should talk to.
But my name is Hiram. Nice to meet you. And I've been a journalist since probably late May. filming the protest, and I primarily live stream on Facebook. So like right now I am live, and so I was asking them, but I didn't get them on camera. I always ask people before I put them on camera whether or not they feel comfortable with that. But yeah, if you're curious, it's ImHiram on. I'll help you out.
I'm a junior at UT, and I'm also studying journalism.
You're studying journalism?
Yes.
I graduated from UT, but I studied international relations and government. So I graduated 2019. So it's ImHiram. Just look it up. Yeah, it should be this one right here. There we are.
Oh, there you are right now.
Yeah. So yeah, just let me know. But thank you.
Your vote matters more and more. It's got another 60 years to go.
Man, I think all our votes matter. Thank you. Of course, thank you. So, student journalists, I always like to talk to student journalists. Heck yeah. I'll never say no to talking to another fellow journalist. Could always learn how to do my job better. So they're yelling at each other from across the street. So again, we're in downtown Austin, Texas, in front of the Austin, Texas Capitol. Yes.
What media? Are you independent media?
I'm independent. Yeah.
Who are you with?
I'm Hiram.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, go ahead.
You're Hiram?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Nice to meet you, man. Yeah.
My buddy is PDX Ninja in Portland.
PDX Ninja in Portland. I know who that is. Yeah.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too, man. Yeah. We'll see you later. So let's go ask some more questions. Yes, sir. How's it going? How are you? Good. I like the haircut, man. It's kind of busy out here, huh? So there's a couple hundred people. I'm gonna walk around. We'll see you around. Here in front of the Capitol, downtown Austin, Texas. Overwhelmingly now, Biden supporters, a lot of Trump supporters have left this area. And before there was an overwhelming amount of Trump supporters and a really small group of Biden-Harris supporters, and now that has completely shifted the other direction. Now there are much more Biden supporters, not by a large margin, than there are Trump supporters. So as the event has progressed, there's been more Biden supporters coming out, and the Trump crowd has again shrunk. So no violence though, absolutely no violence as of yet. Maybe one scuffle, one guy got arrested, but it ended up being a pretty simple altercation. Nobody looked badly injured or anything. It looked more like a preemptive attempt to break up a fight. Hiram, half my children, no thanks. I'm sorry. How's it going, man? How are you? It's going. So real quick, man, I'm Hiram, and I do live streams on Facebook and stuff. I'm an independent journalist. Just go around and ask people what they think. That's it. Do you mind being on camera and telling us what you think?
says it all.
What was that?
I think this says it all. Hey, ho, ho, Donald Trump.
You know,
I speak better through my art.
you speak better through your art. I like it, man. Awesome. Did you do that yourself?
Yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much.
No problem.
What's up? So, let's go ask some more questions. My man wanted to speak through his art. That is completely acceptable.
Donald Trump is going to go.
Hi, how's it going, guys? How are you? I'm doing well. So, real quick, my name is Hiram, and I'm a journalist. I run my own independent media page on Facebook. And I just was wondering if I could ask you some questions about why you're out here and stuff for people watching at home. Would you mind?
You can go ahead, ask.
Cool. So I'm gonna do like the selfie style thing because the audio works better that way. But if you
can ask her, she'll be good. She'll be good. Yeah, she's really good at answering. Come on, go ahead.
No, if you're comfortable only. I mean, you guys are fine. Well, thank you so much. You guys have a good day. Take care. Hi, how's it going, guys? Hey, so quick introduction. My name is Hiram. I run a social media page, a journalism page on Facebook, and I do live streams, and I just go around and ask people what they're feeling and what they're thinking. And I wanted to ask you what you were feeling or what you were thinking. Do you mind being on camera or anything?
No, I don't mind at all.
Awesome. So, I'm gonna do the selfie style thing because the audio works better that way. Could you tell us what brought you out here today and what you're observing and everything?
I just want to see what's going on. I see democracy in progress. I see both sides doing their thing. Obviously, I'm on this side of the road, but it's okay for them to be on that side of the road too.
And you mean by this side, Biden-Harris, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And what most of the people that are on Trump's side have told me that they feel like there's some kind of election fraud. Do you have any concerns about election fraud at all?
If you consider election fraud counting all the votes, then I guess, but no, I have absolutely no concern.
No concern at all. No. And have you seen any evidence of election fraud at all yourself
No.
on social
People
media?
say there's evidence going to be coming out. Never does. All these lawsuits have been shut down in their tracks. Even like a few minutes ago, they dismissed that weird Sharpie one in Arizona. So.
And if I could ask, where do you get most of your information from?
CNN.
Usually, and any other news, mainstream media?
I don't really go to the rest. A lot leaning very left, a lot leaning very right. I do listen to a lot of NPR. They tend to be fairly balanced too.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I appreciate it. And do you have any last words? Anything you want to tell people at home about what you're seeing out here or anything?
Vote. And vote every time.
Thank you so much. Have a good day, sir. I appreciate it. So, a little bit of mainstream media. I'm going to try to ask everyone where they get their information and you get a good idea of where a lot of this information is coming from about election fraud and whatnot. It'd be cool if I just, from now on, every time I interviewed somebody, I asked them where they got their information from. I'm gonna do that. Let's go ask some more questions. So, let's go ask some more questions, guys.
Yeah, dancing music.
Hey, man, do you mind if I ask you some questions?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Cool. So, I'm Hiram.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I live stream on Facebook.
Hi.
Wanted to see what brought you out here today, man. What's going on? What are you observing?
So the funny thing is, I'm actually not even from here. I'm from California, and I just so happen to be wearing a cowboy costume. I don't know if you can see it. But I didn't know the election was going to be called today, and now I feel even more proud than ever. This street is very divided at the moment, but the side that I'm on is the side that's dancing and celebrating and has music and has dogs, and I love it. Who wouldn't want to be on this side?
Are you worried about election fraud at all?
No, absolutely not. Like, if the media can make up things, so can Trump, and I don't see why people don't understand that.
And one last question, man. I ask everyone, where do you get your information from?
So I purposely check mediabias.com, or I think that's the name of it. I always want to make sure that my news is as centered as possible and as highly factual as possible. Even left of center I try to avoid, so I ideally get my news from Reuters and from AP, ideally.
Awesome, man. Thank you. Have a good one. You too.
Let's go back to 6.
Yeah, I thought you were.
There are a ton of cars with Trump flags on their way down here. So for those of you that don't know, we're downtown Austin, Texas, in front of the Austin, Texas Capitol. That one man, I think, has a Biden flag. Hi. Hi.
Look! Look! Look at the black man!
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good. So, my name is Hiram, and I'm a journalist here in Austin. And I primarily do Facebook live stream. I don't know if you mind if I ask you just a few questions. If you don't mind, I'm gonna do it like selfie style because the audio is better that way.
Okay.
But could you tell us what you're seeing out here, how you're feeling about it and stuff?
Well, unfortunately, what I actually see is a mix of what we've already had in the past, which is a lot of people being divided. And this win was more about a return to democracy as opposed to continuing to fight. So I'm not out here to curse out the other side or to say you lost, but this is more of a time of, I am celebrating because, hey, we got the president, we got the vice president who's a black woman. I'm excited about that. But I'm more excited about returning to democracy, about returning to decorum, and about being able to really work out policies. That's what I'm more excited about.
Yeah.
So, you know, all the yelling and screaming is okay, that's fine, but I am here with my kids to celebrate returning to democracy and seeing democracy work. It's the bedrock of our nation.
And what do you have to say about, you know, people saying there's election fraud? Because I know most of the people I've interviewed on that side say there's election fraud.
There is no election fraud. The American people have spoken. There's no fraud going on. This is about people rejecting an ideology, and they did. There's no fraud. The elections people worked very hard to get our votes cast and done the way they're supposed to be counted, the way they're supposed to be counted. There's no fraud. There's no fraud.
And can I ask you, where do you get your information from for the most part?
I read.
Where do you, like, what kind of sources do you read?
I read
what
the
do you
Wall
recommend?
Street Journal. I do watch a lot of news. I watch a lot of, I watch a mix of Fox, NBC, CNN. I watch a mix because I want to know all sides.
Yeah.
But I do a lot of reading as well. And I know the Constitution. I know what it says. I understand how our nation is supposed to work.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Do you have any last comments? Anything you'd like to leave with?
I just look forward to the next 4 years. I look forward to the transition, and I mostly look forward to this country working to heal.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Have a beautiful day.
You too.
So, Austin, Texas, guys, downtown in front of the Austin, Texas Capitol. We are on the side with a lot of Biden supporters, but right across the street, there are Trump supporters as well. Who are upset about the election results, most of which are citing election fraud as the reason why Donald Trump is yet to take the election. Again, there's no evidence as of yet for election fraud. Most of the people I've spoken to have completely avoided any mainstream media to get their information, and have you know, gone to sources like Project Versadoes and InfoWars, which are arguably not the same as like Fox News or even CNN, MSNBC, Reuters, AP, etc. So there are a couple hundred people still out here, guys. The crowds are still pretty big. You know, now they're pretty evenly split. There's a lot of vehicles in support of Trump. And I'm at 20% battery. And there's a drone up there too. Which is unfortunate, man, but we'll see. I thought I charged one of my batteries last night. It wasn't plugged in properly.
Your president's fucking wrong.
Let us cross the street and see what's going on the other side. So for those of you just tuning in, Austin, Texas, in front of the Austin, Texas Capitol, there are upset Trump supporters out here, most of which cite election fraud as a product of this election, not a product of this election, but rather as a part of this election. And there are definitely many Biden supporters out here on this side who are counter-protesting the Trump supporters. Police have barricaded people and have kept them from going on the street. Everyone right now is not allowed on the street. Police have come in and set a barrier. And so people are separated on the different corners of the intersections and in front of the Capitol building. And that's the scoop.
piece of shit. Fuck you.
What I do that made you
Put a fucking mask on, you fucking piece of shit. Fuck you. Go suck Trump's dick, you fucking piece of shit.
Spicy.
Go suck Trump's dick. Go suck Trump's dick, you fucking piece of shit.
There's that
Go
tolerance.
Fuck yourself.
There's that
Go
tolerance.
Fuck yourself, you fucking piece of shit. Go fuck yourself.
Excuse me, can I cross? I mean, once the crosswalk, you know. Okay.
I don't think that's safe. They're crazy.
You wanna get all kinds of shit on
You don't work with me, but you don't work with me. No, we don't. We're separate entities.
Right alongside.
But we're separate entities. I mean,
We have similar goals.
you're a journalist, I'm a journalist, but that's it. Yeah.
Work for InfoWars?
I don't.
I don't work for InfoWars.
Yeah, but we don't work together though.
You're a fraud.
Shut the fuck up, you fucking piece of shit.
There you have it, folks.
Where's your mask?
Whew, man, people making false claims out here, man. So we're gonna cross the street, guys. That's what I'm waiting for. Get some interviews on the other side. All right, I'm gonna cross. Thanks. So I'm crossing over to the Donald Trump side. Let's ask some more questions, guys. Get some more information now that we spent some time on the Biden-Harris side. Let's try to be even and equal with the information we get out there. Man, I want to talk to Elvis over here. How's it going, man? You mind if I ask you some questions on camera? Cool. So what brings you out here, man? What's going on?
Well, I came down to see what was happening, and also to express my love for this country and the rule of law, and my earnest hope that all the votes will be counted properly, and that we will know what the will of the people actually is.
And what do you think there's election fraud right now?
I haven't seen it personally firsthand myself, but there seems like there's a preponderance of stories from all over the country of people who have a lot of questions, and I think those questions need to be looked into. So it seems like something's going on. If nothing's going on, great. We can all go to sleep knowing that the right thing was done. But if something wrong was done, we got to get to the bottom of it.
And what's going to convince you, man, that the elections were counted properly?
Say that one more time.
What would convince you that the elections were carried out honestly? Would the recount be enough for you, or what do you want to see?
To be perfectly honest, my main driving force for being here and for loving this country is seeing us all get along. As far as votes, people have been cheating at elections ever since this country was founded. Right from our very first election, there was election fraud. The notion that people act out of the kindness and decency of their hearts and that election fraud doesn't exist seems to me a little childish of a viewpoint to have. In the real world, people try to get away with stuff. That's just the way it works. You ever watch Game of Thrones? That's how it works.
But would a recount make you more confident about the results, or what would give you more confidence?
What would give me more confidence is if we were not counting ballots after Election Day. Yeah. Counting ballots after Election Day is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. We have an Election Day, then it's over.
Well, hey, I'll tell you this, man. As far as I read, because I've been reading a lot about this, It's pretty normal. Actually, it happens every election that they count ballots after election day, like the provisional ballots. They count mail-in ballots a couple days afterwards. So I don't know. You're saying nowhere near to this?
Here's the truth. When I voted on a computer. I have no idea if that vote got actually counted. There's no way to know. None of us really know. And they've had those computer machines for almost 20 years now. Yeah. And there was skullduggery going on back in 02 and 04 when they first started introducing them in Ohio. So I have no illusions. The world is a savage place, and we're right now in a fight for the very soul of this country. Basically, the question is, will we take America, warts and all, imperfections and all, like the same way you love your wife or your husband and your family, or are we going to throw it all away and let foreign powers tell us how to live our lives?
And one last question, man. Where do you get your information from? Like, what news sources do you watch and stuff?
I used to listen to NPR, and I realized they were propaganda. These days, I check out so many different things. Everything from CNN to Fox, Breitbart, InfoWars, Gateway Pundit. There's a lot of great sites out there. And everything's just a data point. That's a data point. Is it true or not? I don't know. It's a story. It's interesting. You got to put all the data points together to get the big picture.
CNN is communist.
CNN is bad news. They are corporate controlled. They do not care about us.
And you have an Elvis costume on?
This was actually going to be my wedding outfit, but my wife told me I had to wear an actual suit. But I've gotten a lot of use out of it coming down to events like this.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
Take care of yourself.
You too. This guy's not your friend.
Well, I'm not his friend. I won't edit any of the footage, man. I put it up just like it is, like independent, unbiased media. You can look me up. I'm Hiram on Facebook.
You do what you got to do. It's between you and God, right?
Thanks. Yes, sir. So, we're at a few more different news sources, including Breitbart, InfoWars, Fox, and CNN. The more sources, the better, right? In some sense, for sure. So it was good. It seemed like a varied, and he personally didn't make any claims that he knows, didn't assert, that there was election fraud. He just said that he's heard a lot of people talk about it, and it's worth looking into. But this particular individual did not say that he personally has seen any evidence himself of election fraud. What's up, man?
How's it going, man?
How's it going? You said someone called you a vegan?
Oh, yeah. I think it was one of your buddies.
One of my buddies. I'm a journalist. I don't know. Was there another news agency here telling you you're vegan?
I don't know. He just asked me, are you vegan? I'm like, I'm a fat boy. I want to be a vegan.
I see. Cool, man. Thanks.
Yeah.
Take care. The Trump crowd is definitely dwindling, but the Biden-Harris crowd is getting bigger. No question about that. Hi, how are you? My name is Hiram, and I'm with an independent news agency. I just wanted to see if I could ask you a few questions. If not right now, okay, that's fine. It's completely okay. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a good day. How's it going, man? Good. So we're in Austin, Texas, in front of the Texas Capitol, the Austin, Texas Capitol building, the one place where legislative decisions are made in Texas. We are in front of the south side of the Capitol building, On the south side of the Capitol building, there are many Trump supporters, although there were many, many more just a couple of hours ago, maybe an hour ago at most. On the other side, there are many Biden supporters who have come and counter-protested the Trump supporters who claim there is some kind of election fraud. For the most part, most people I've asked here believe strongly there is election fraud. Despite that, at the moment, there's absolutely no credible evidence that there is election fraud. Just a bunch of suspicion based on screenshots, pictures shared around social media, many of which have been debunked. So, just want to emphasize that, guys. Disinformation is no good. That's aside from political beliefs. Like, lies are bad. And if there is any election fraud, it will be investigated thoroughly by the courts who understand the procedures. And how's it going, man? Can I ask some questions on camera?
It's good, man.
Well, I want to know what brought you out here, man. What's going on? What are you seeing? How are you feeling?
We don't want a communist country, man. We want to uphold the values. We want the Constitution to stick the way it is, man. We know Biden's been paid off by China. We don't want to be like China. That's pretty much all it is, man. Trump 2020.
And are you worried about election fraud?
Oh, yeah. 100%. I mean, it doesn't make sense how overnight Biden can jump up ahead 200,000 like out of nowhere, and like not even one is for Trump. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like,
yeah. And real quick, man, where do you get usually your information from? Like, where are you getting these facts and stuff?
Well, I mean, I'm pretty well-rounded. I mean, social media. I mean, I do listen to here and there mainstream media just to see what they're saying. You know, I don't necessarily believe what they're saying, but I think it's important to get different views and not be stuck in an echo chamber.
Yeah.
So that's really all it is, man. We don't want to be in concentration camps, and if Biden gets elected, it's only a matter of time. That's what I see. So
thanks, man. Any last comments?
Trump 2020, man. That's it.
Have a good one. So we are in front of the Austin, Texas Capitol. I will be crossing the street once again to the other side. I need battery. My phone's at 10%. Ooh, man.
They didn't win Arizona. They didn't win Pennsylvania. They did not win Wisconsin.
I definitely need to find a way to charge my phone at this moment. I'm so sorry I failed you guys. I didn't plug my phone in appropriately. And thus, I don't have the right amount of battery power to keep me going.
Cheeseburger.
cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger. What's up, man?
How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
This ain't nothing. They'll be yelling at each other all night.
Probably, yeah.
Have fun with it.
It's Woodley, right? That truck's Woodley. They gotta make it.
I am not Miley Cyrus, and thus I do not own this song. We are downtown Austin, Texas, in front of the Austin, Texas Capitol on the south side with an event that was originally like a Trump event that is now turned into a Biden event as more Biden supporters have turned up and as more Trump supporters have left. Let's ask some questions. So, let me see. How's it going, sir? How are you?
I'm very happy. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. My name is Hiram, and I'm a journalist here in Austin, Texas. Primarily do my things through live stream on Facebook. And I wanted to know if I could ask you some questions on camera. Would you be comfortable with that?
Sure.
Awesome.
Nice to meet you, Hiram.
It's good to meet you. So, I'm gonna do like a selfie type thing. Could you tell us who brought you out here, what you're observing, how you feel about it?
Well, what brought me out here was to celebrate the Biden victory, not just as a Biden victory, but as a turn back away from the evil we were facing.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing out here is a whole lot of Trump supporters and a lot of Biden supporters also, I think. Surprising to me how many Trump people came out to participate.
Are you worried about how divided the country is right now?
I am very disturbed about it, yeah.
Has it ever been this bad in your experience?
No, even back when people used to think the South is very conservative, the North is very liberal. Right now you look at any of these returns maps and the red is sprinkled throughout.
Yeah.
When I moved to Texas, people said, oh, that's pretty conservative there. I said, have you ever been to upstate New York? It's the same thing. I've never seen it so polarized. And it's not even really over any particular issues.
Yeah.
It's like the sportification of politics. Everybody decided to drag back a team, and whatever jersey they're wearing, they're going to keep supporting that.
And where do you get your information from? If I could ask, I've been asking this to everyone, you know.
Probably too much TV, and on TV, mostly MSNBC. Occasionally I check in with Fox to see what they have to say about things, or CNN. Otherwise, New York Times on the weekends.
Awesome. And do you have any last comments? Anything else you'd like to say to people watching at home? You know, whoever.
This all makes me feel more hopeful, much more hopeful.
Well, thank you so much. Have a beautiful day, sir. Take care.
You too. Thanks for your good work.
Thank you. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. So, God, man, I'm running good. I'm at 3%, so I'll probably have to jump off for a little bit and then jump on somehow, guys. I will be here in front of the south side of the Capitol, walking around, figuring out how I'm going to charge my phone again. But thank you so much for tuning in so far. We've heard a lot today. It's likely not going to change. The more interviews I get, I think the more likely I am to start hearing the same ideas. People on the Biden-Harris side are really happy about the election, are not concerned about election fraud, are chanting USA, seem really happy about, the results. Meanwhile, on the Trump side, many people are concerned about election fraud. Many people are concerned about the illegitimacy, quote unquote, of this particular election. But again, I want to say that one of the biggest things right now dictating the conversation is the idea of election fraud. And so far as I'm concerned, and so far as experts are concerned, there is not any evidence yet of any kind of fraud. I don't think any mainstream media has come out to say that there is absolutely any concerns about fraud at the moment. So it's safe to say that at this point, there's nothing credible indicating fraud. There are some razor-thin margins that are going to be recounted legally. That's what happens every time that there's razor-thin margins in states like Georgia, Pennsylvania, maybe Wisconsin and Michigan. But again, an insanely historic margin in places like Georgia. But again, yet with no evidence of fraud. So we'll see. How's it going?